Welcome back, guys. We are going to review hands played by PLO Vision with 100 bigs. So let's see how we roll. I guess check without a spade. I think that I have to call here without the nut flush draw. Okay, 4, 5, 6. I think this is an easy call. Yeah, I think this is going to be a call down all the way. Okay, king, king 10. Call, seriously. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he only raised 50%. No, 75%. Okay. I think 1/3. Check. Okay, but with the 5 we are betting 65% of the time. Okay. We are checking and trying maybe bluff some rivers there. Just folding here, okay? backdoor spades call though. Okay, a6-7. So we are checking all our range here. Or we're folding just on the flop. Calling with backdoor spades and one hard blocker. And probably folding river. Checking without the hearts. Here we're going to call. 6, 7, 10. You can bet just 50%. Just folding, I think. Call. Say he checks. What do we do here? What if we had kings? With kings we bet half pot, but if we had kings and the ace into hearts, then we are checking. Interesting. 6, 8, 9. Okay, 4, 5, 6, just half pot. Just betting here and check, really. What about aces? Aces and nothing, check 60% of the time. So here we're checking. King 4, you can bet this 50%. If we have a king, and if we have a 4, and with aces, we're checking quite often. Okay, 3, 4, 6. You can bet this 50. I think we're checking this back. Yeah, without hearts. 7, 10 jack. And we're checking this back. With the ace of hearts, we're starting to bet. This we can bet like 60-70% of the time, 100% of the time. Wow, checking this. I think we can bet with the king of hearts and a 7. I think we have to check back. We are not blocking a bet. We had ace queen 5 deuce. Now we are checking some. Okay, so we are betting the bottom of our range. And just checking because we really want to see the turn. A9-9. We have to bet the bottom of our range and the top of our range. Here I think we're going to check pretty often. Yeah, 100%. We're starting to bet with hearts. I think we're going to check back. Kind of like in Hold'em when we check back second pair. Here yeah, I think we are checking back. have some showdown value, but our hand is not that strong. Here we do not have showdown value, but our hand blocks a bit the continuation range with the 6. So maybe we can bet this. So without showdown value and blocking a little bit, it's a good reason to bet. So you bet the bottom of your range and the top of your range quite often. Here 10-5-5. Here we are at the bottom of our opening range in that position. And we have the ace of hearts, so we are blocking the continuation range of our opponent. Without the ace of hearts, we would just check back. With 2 hearts, we're checking back quite often as well. Here, but with 3 hearts, we are betting. Okay, 10 jack. I think that here our hand is strong enough to bet. Here we call. Okay, 8-6-4. We are blocking, so we have to bet. And 50% of 5-7. Here we have to bet also 50% would make sense. And we are blocking, so we can bet. Without the hearts, we are starting to check a bit more back. Or we check 100%. But with our particular hand, we can bet. Okay. Okay, 8-6 deuce. I think we can bet 50%. Well, 75 because 10, 7, 9, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think that we have the top pair and no hearts, so I think we are going to check this back. Yeah, with hearts we are starting to bet a bit more often. Okay, 8-4-3. I think we are going to check back with some showdown value, but we do not want to call a check raise. So we are trying to get our hand to showdown. Ace, Ace, 8. think we are going to check back and trying to go to showdown. Now, if he bets, I think we are going to fold. Deuce 3-4, no hearts, no 5. So our hand is terrible in equity, but we are not blocking, so we are going to check this back probably. Yeah. With one heart, we're starting to bet a bit more often. And with two hearts, we're checking because we want to see a turn. We can bet this 50%. Our hand is terrible, but we are not blocking our opponent's continuation range. 4, 5, 6. Our hand is very bad, but we are not blocking our opponent's continuation range. 3, 7, 8. We have to bet 75 here. And yeah, we are checking because we are not blocking anything here. 5, 6, 8, we can bet this 50 because he either has the 7, 9 or he doesn't. Three, 5, 5. Our hand is terrible, so we wanna bet. Our hand is terrible, but we are not blocking anything, so we are checking. Betting this one. Really. Well, at least we have a bear. Okay, deuce 4, 5. We are blocking with those sixes, so we wanna bet 50%. So with the queen high flush we are betting, but with the jack high flush we are checking. But yeah, overall we are betting here. Here betting 50. Although I guess you could bet a bit more just because the 8, the 9, the 10, and the 5 are changing the nuts. Anyway, here we have showdown value, but we are not blocking anything, so we are going to check here. The 9, 6, 6. I think we are going to check. Trying to go to showdown. Even with 2 hearts, we're checking pretty often here. Three, 4, 6, just 50%. With a 5 and backdoors, I think we can bet this. No, we are probably checking. Yeah, because we do not have a heart, so with the ace of hearts you are betting quite a bit. But this yeah, you need kind of two blockers, I would say. Here we want to check back and we are trying to go to showdown. Here we have 2 strong blockers, the 2 5s. Plus an open-ender. Here we can bet 50 because he either has queen 10 or he doesn't. I think we're going to check back without a heart. Well, we have one, but it's not that relevant. Here with 50% is alright. Probably trying to go to showdown. Here we're going to bet 70% of the time, or 80%, 78% of the time. So yeah, you are slow playing like 20%. Here we can bet 50. Are we going to try to bluff? And the answer is no. He's trying to go to showdown. Here we have 2 blockers. The ace, because it's blocking ace 3, and the jack of hearts. So I think we can bet this, and this is the worst hand that we have on this position. Here we do not have showdown value, so we are going to bet here. We have more aces than our opponent. Here we are going to check back because we only have one blocker, which is the 10. Here we have I think that we have one made hand, which is a pair of fours, and we have a medium flush draw. So we are medium, the strength of our hand is medium, and the strength of our big hand is medium, and the strength of our draw is medium. So I think we are going to check this. We are not blocking a 5. Okay, 4, 5, 7. I think we want to bet this 80% of the time. 100% of the time. Okay. Here I think we want to check this very often. %71% of the time. Here just betting 50. And we have a made hand and we have a medium draw. So this is a perfect hand to check down. And here it probably goes check, check. Yeah, it's not strong enough to bet. Here we do not have a made hand at the moment, but we have a very strong draw, so we are going to bet 75%, 100% of the time. Here we bet 75 because the 6, the 7, the 8, the 10, the jack, the queen all changes on odds. And I think that we have a made hand, but we do not have a draw, and we do not want to get check raise, so we are going to check. Here we can bet 50%. And we are going to check this back. Call. Without the flush draw, we would start folding. And with the ace of spades only, we are folding a lot, because now we believe that our opponent may very well have a 10. Here we're betting 75. We're going to check this back because although we are at the bottom of our range, we do not block the continuation range of our opponent. This is just 50% bet, and here we are at the bottom of our range, but we need two blockers, and we only have the Queen of Hearts. So we are going to check back. The 4-5-9. I think we're going to check this back. So we are at the bottom of our range and we need two blockers. One is the ace, but the ace works as two blockers. We are blocking ace 3 and we are blocking the flush draw. So we are going to bet this one. So yeah, remember the ace works as two blockers. One for the ace 3 and the other for the ace. If we had ace jack 9-8 with one heart, we are still betting. Even if the is the ace of hearts, we are still betting. And without a heart, we are checking back. And with a flush draw, we would actually check back because we want to see the turn. Okay, 7-8. We can bet 50% because the 9 jack makes the nuts. You either have it or you don't have it. Here we are going to check back because we do not have blockers, although our hand is very bad. Here, 4-8 win. What do we do here? We have to bet 75 because the 5, the 6, the 7, the 9, the 10, the jack changes the nut. And yeah, I think we can bet this one. The question is, what do we do if he check raises us? Raise. We need like 40 something. With one backdoor. So we are balancing when we are bluffing. No, I mean when we have queens, we need to find some pots. so that's why probably we're putting this one. This is our bluff. And we are blocking queens, but even if he has queens, we still have the jack and backdoor, so we still have like 20% equity. And if he has queen 8, we are doing fine against that particular hand. Okay, 5, 7, 10. We have to check back because we are at the bottom of our range, but we are not blocking the continuation range. Bet. Well, we are blocking with the 5. Yeah, that one is... But yeah, I mean, this hand is so bad that we probably want us. I mean, according to the solver, we just want to bet that one. I don't think that we would open ace 3 3 5 on a real game, not at these stakes, just because it's so. We are going to get a bunch of colors, so probably not. Okay, here we're going to check back with some showdown value. Here we are going to bet because we have strong draw. A 5, 7, 9, 10 jack. If he raises us, calling and trying to see what happens if a flash arrives or try to make our hand. Here we have a gut shot and we have the nut flash draw, so this is an easy bet. If he raises, calling. Let's see. Say he checks. Now we are going to check. Yeah, because we do not have any pair here. We are not blocking. So we are going to check back. And we have some backdoor potential with a 5, a 3, backdoor hearts, and spades. So it's a bit different from that hand about ace 5, 3, 3. Okay, we have to bet 75% here. And I think we are going to check this back because we have one pair. We have a medium made hand and a medium flush draw. We have a very bad hand. We have one blocker, which is the 3. Maybe the other 3. I think I would just bet. This is so bad. And we are not going to make a hand on the turn or the river. Check. So we are checking because so the 3 only counts as one blocker. Yeah, because he's not going to have as many 3-5s pre-flop. And we do not have a heart. With a heart we would actually bet pretty often. And with 2 hearts we would check back. Here we are at the bottom of our range. I think we are going to bet. We are not blocking value, but he's not going to continue all that often here, so we are trying to go to showdown here. Even with, no, actually with 2 hearts, it's pretty strong hand, so we would bet. But even with 1 heart, we are just checking back. Okay, the 4-10 jack. Yeah, I think that we want to bet because we have a strong holding here. The 9-7-3, we have to bet 75%, and we're going to check back. Bet. Okay, 8-6 deuce. We have correct hand to check back. With 1 heart we would bet. With 2 we would check. With 3 we would bet because we are blocking the continuation range of our opponent. Jack 5-3. 855. Bet. We have a correct main hand and a correct draw, but I think we are better off just betting because we cannot make two pair here. We are blocking with the jacks, the combo 10 jack. We are checking. With one heart we would bet. Bet. Even without backdoors, we are betting pretty often. With the backdoors, we are checking, trying to catch one of those. So, yeah, we're okay. Let me see if this makes sense. Okay, so we want to take the hand down. It doesn't make too much sense trying to take down this hand because by the river the strength of our hand is going to be very bad, probably. So we prefer to take it down right now, having two blockers, which are the win. Also blocking a set of queens. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, here we are trying to go to showdown because our hand has some value at showdown and we'll have some showdown by the river. Probably. The queen 9-9. I think we are going to check this. Even with one heart, we would check pretty often just because it's not that relevant if we have the 5 of hearts. Maybe with the ace of hearts we would bet, but we are not going to have only the ace of hearts with that particular hand. Okay, queen h4. I think we can bet because we have top pair, and normally when you have top pair you can bet pretty often. check. Okay, trying to go to showdown without top pair there. Okay, 733. I think I would bet here because by the river our hand is not going to be very strong, probably. We're afraid of ace, king, queen, jack, 10. And we are blocking a bit the sevens. Okay. 664. Same as before, we are blocking the 6. Our hand is not going to be good by the river very often, so I think it's better just we're checking. Okay, here I think we have hearts and backdoor spades. So even if we do not have a 5, I think we can just bet this. Yeah, with only 2 hearts, we're checking this pretty often. But with the backdoors and some backdoor full houses, and blocking also a little bit the ace-5 with our 2 aces, it's probably strong enough to bet. Here we have yeah, probably just checking back with the bad flush draw. Here, trying to go to showdown. We're not blocking hearts or the 5-6 combo. Eight, 6 zeros. I would just check this back, trying to make our hand. With the backdoors, you can start betting a little bit. The 9-5-4, and just trying to go to showdown. I think that the ace 5-5 is going to be very weak by the river, so I think I prefer just to bet. And here the 5-5 blocks a little bit the 5-7. Here the 8-8-4. Well, we're 95% of the time, almost always. With the 8-4, you could consider checking 10% of the time. 6, 7, we can bet 50% here because the A9 here with this particular hand I would just try to go to showdown. I think I would just check this one. No, we're betting 5-4. We're betting. What I was thinking is that if we bet and they raised us, now we have to go 16. Yeah. Now we have to fold. Jack 8-8. I think we're at the very bottom of our range, so I think I would bet, and he's going to miss this board some of the time as well. No, we're checking. If the board was something like 8-8-3, I think that a bet is superior, but here apparently he connects with the calling range of our opponent. Yeah, we are only c-betting 39% of the time, so here we can bet 50% because he either has 7-4 or he doesn't. Oh, I think we have 1-7, which is good, and 1 heart, so I think I'm just going to bluff this one. I mean, it's not a bluff. We could try going to showdown with queens, but the problem is that by the river our hand is going to be very weak, so I prefer to bet right here. Without the 7 of hearts, I prefer just checking back. Okay, king 10-6. Okay, we have 2 blockers, the jack queen, so to speak, and the queen of hearts. So I prefer to bet because the strength of our hand right now is very weak, and our draw isn't that great anyway, so yeah, just trying to take it down right now. If they raised us, we are going to fold. Call. We call with 1 heart, but we fold without hearts. Yeah. Pretty borderline. I think that if you fold right now, considering that you have to pay rake, I think that's probably better. The 8, the 9, the 10, the king, the queen, so we have to bet 75%, and 19. Yeah, almost always or always. This is not a board where you want to slow play. Here yeah, it's tempting to check back our queens, but the problem is that by the river our hand is going to be very weak, probably. So we just bet in here with the blockers, the two queens. Seems better. Here we can bet 50. I think we have to check back because the strength of our hand is very bad, but we are not blocking our opponent's continuation range. We have two blockers, the 10 of hearts and the 10. It's also a blocker, I guess, for the 9-10. It's tempting trying to arrive to showdown with the kings, but our hand is not going to be very good by the river. So just betting here seems fine. Without a heart, it's just a check. If he raises us, we're probably going to call. Now we're raising, yeah, right here. Ace king without a heart, we are calling though. And ace king for 3, we are calling as well. Okay. Here the kings, we would like to take to go to show, to finish the hand just right now, but the problem is that we are not blocking the continuation range of our opponent. So I think we're going to check. King with a heart, with the king of hearts, we could try to bet just because we would have the two blockers, the 5 and the king of hearts. And with the 5 of hearts, we are checking some because the 5 of hearts is not as relevant as a blocker as the king of hearts. Here, I would bet because, well, we're blocking the 7, our hand is pretty bad. I think he's going to check back. We're betting. It's kind of a mixed strategy though. Yeah, I mean, because it's just 50%, we can bet a bit more often, I would imagine. The 6-6-9. We are going to bet because we're not blocking hearts. Even with hearts, we are betting because we're not blocking nines or 7, 8 of hearts, something like that. So yeah, yeah, we're not slow playing. And with those 6, 6, 9, 6, 6, 9, we're actually checking. Even without a heart. Okay. Okay. Here we are not blocking anything, and the Queen 9 combo impacts a lot with the big blind calling range, so I think we have to give up. Unfortunately, even with one heart we're betting some apparently, but the problem is that the 3 of hearts is not as relevant a card. Even something like the ace 4, 3, 3, we're checking a lot just because we could be running dead at the moment. 3, 7, 9 is a bet there. King 4, 4. Oh, we are checking. We do not want to face a check raise, and we want low flashes to draw, even if it's for free. Well, we have to check. I think we're going to check with two-way hand, medium made hand, medium draw. I think we are not blocking at all the Queen Jack, so I think this is an easy check back. Even something like tens. Well, tens start to be more of a bet, because this is also another problem. If we are up against tens or nines, we are doing very bad. But tens, yeah, tens without a jack and without backup in form of hearts are checking pretty often. That's something like 10, 10 deuce. Jack 5, 3. This is, oh fuck, really? How is it? Ah, yeah. It's only the deuce and the 7. Yeah, we are not blocking the that much the check raising range of our opponent if he has a set of jacks or something or two pair, and we only have an open ender. A 3, no deuce, yeah, and that's 7. Because an 8, we will need, it's not good enough. Yeah, the thing is that when we have open-ended and two backdoors, then we can bet a bit more often because then we have like 40 something percent equity. But here we would be in trouble if he check raises us. Here, the 9, queen and 9. I would just bet here, I think, with the 10 and 7 blocking a bit the 9s on our opponent. Yeah. Ace king queen. I think this is a good hand to check back. Kind of top pair bad kicker if you want, like with the jack. With the 10 jack, I think I should bet 80% of the time. Yeah, with the 10 jack we can, and without ace, king or queen, let's see. Yeah, so the 10 jack without ace, king or queen, we're betting 77% of the time. Yes, it's pretty relevant. What about ace ace? Ace ace 10 jack? Yeah, ace ace 10 jack. Okay, yeah. So ace ace 10 jack we are betting. Because it would be nice to be check raised by 10 jack, for example. However, 10 jack without any backup, 10 jack, 10 jack, 77. Well, yeah, I cannot select an ace or a king, but But yeah, doesn't matter. I mean, so what you're okay? Yeah, the thing is that when you have 10 jaguars without any backup at all, then you're going to check a bit more often. Like for example, with a 10 jack, 7, 8, 10 jack, you're checking this 100% of the time, for example. With 2 jacks, you're betting a bit more often because then you believe that your opponent may have a kings, queens, maybe aces. And if you have something like king, king, 10 jack, then now you're betting always, because now you want your opponent to have the same hand as you have, and that you have a redraw. So 10 jack. For example, a9, 10 jack. Okay. So yeah, a hand like ace 9, 10 jack, now we're betting only 60% of the time. And without backup, without backdoors, almost 100% of the time. So yeah, the side cards are going to make you decide whether you wanna bet or not. That's the point. I think we want to check this. Yeah. Normally, when you have the second nuts, you on on a very dry board, just because our opponent is not going to have a lot of deuces, threes, or fives. So if he has 6-4, we are doing very bad, and otherwise we're doing great. So we want to give him free cards. Yeah, the continuation range is crushing us, which is 6-4, and he doesn't really have that many fives, threes, and deuces, so that's why you check back. Here, just checking back as well. Here we can bet 50%. I would bet because we have the ace of hearts and 1-9, and I want to take it. We're checking here. We would bet with 2 9s. Yeah, apparently our hand is not strong enough to bet. Yeah, no, we cannot call a check raise, but we want on the turn to have the ace of hearts is pretty valuable. We can bluff with that hand. Yeah. here we have our hand is not strong enough to go to showdown, and we're blocking the 8 with our two blockers, which are 7-7. So I would just bet here. Now we are trying to go to showdown with our 7s. Yeah, we have to check this. It's a bit weak. The 3-5-5. Our hand is very weak, and we're blocking kings, queens, tens, aces. He would probably have 3-bet. We have the 6 as a blocker, so I prefer just to bet here. That's 50, 7, 8. Here we have made hand, which is a 10, and a weak flush draw. So I think it's better just to check back this. Okay, those 7-7-6. I think I'm going to check this back, because although our hand is not that strong at the moment, we have good turns like a 5, a 4, an 8 could be good, a 3. So we have a medium made hand and a medium draw, so we wanna check bet. Yeah, we are betting because it's a king high flush draw. If it was a 10 high flush draw, we would probably check back. Yeah, 10 high flush draw we are checking, but a king high flush draw we are betting. Which is a bit crazy, but there is a lot of difference apparently between 10 high flush draw and king high flush draw. And it's okay. Okay, Jack 4-3. When we have top pair, we are normally checking back in order to catch more pairs. So here we're going to check back. Yeah, we are checking back 90% of the time. However, if we had something like queen, queen, jack 8, I think we would bet. Yeah, queen, queen, jack 8, we are betting just because our hand doesn't have that much playability on the turn and river. Jack 8, 9-9. Jack 8, 9-9. Well, yeah, we are checking and betting for 10-10, 8-10-10 jack. Yeah, we are betting quite often. Okay, 9-7-3. What do we do here? I think we are checking back. Some backdoor flush draw and medium made hand. Four, five, six. Here we're going to check back because our hand sucks, but we are not blocking the continuation range of our opponent. If we had something like ace 8-7-3, yeah, we never had ace 3-7-6. So with ace 3-7-6 we are checking back. Without hearts, with one heart. No, but we would only have ace 3-7-6 double suited. Ace 3-7-6 with two hearts, even if it is the nut flush. I mean, if it's just a random hard draw, for sure we're checking back. If it's the ace of hearts, 3 of hearts, 7-6, here we're starting to bet a bit more. Then we are betting a bit more with the ace 3 because we hope our opponent has something like the 6-7 of hearts, something like that. Right, if we have the 7 of hearts on our hand, then our opponent cannot have this 6-7 of hearts combo. Alright guys, have fun, see you later.